Today I'm going to be reviewing the Kral Pro500. So a few years ago, when Kral released the Pro500, the Jumbo and the High Cap, they all looked like really good rifles on paper. However, I soon discovered a flaw, and I'm sure anyone who had one back then discovered the same problem. And that problem was with these shrouds. So originally, what Kral did was manufacture these and ran the barrel up to about 3 inches away from where the shroud ended, which caused a massive issue when you took the end cap off and fitted a sound moderator. What it did was essentially pull the barrel out of line of the shroud, and when you'd fire your pellet, it would clip your sound moderator and you'd get varying different pellets going here, there and everywhere. Now they've rectified this, and the barrel now runs the entire way to the end of the shroud as it should. So I'm going to put this through its paces today and make sure that the alterations they've made work practically. So I'm going to first of all do a chronograph test, then we're going to do accuracy test. Today I've got set on here a Konus Eternity 624x50 first focal plane. If you want to know more about Konus scopes or see the full range, you can click the link in the description below and go to konusoptics.com, type in code KONUS10 and you will get 10% off your initial order. So with the gun you get this Kral branded ABS case, 2 multi-shot magazines, 1 single shot tray, your fill probe and a weaver rail for the front so you can fit a bipod. You also get your instructions and your chronograph report. This rifle has a 500cc bottle, hence Pro500, a side cocking lever, power adjuster, safety catch, adjustable trigger, fill gauge and fill port. So a solid result there from the Pro500. I did a string of 14 shots with an 8.3 grain RWS Superdome pellet, and the average came out at 11.28 foot-pounds. That's really not bad for a gun that costs £665 with a beautiful walnut stock and everything that I showed you earlier. Now you can have this rifle in 177, which is what I'm using today. That comes with 2 14 round magazines. You can have it in 2.2, which comes with 2 12 round magazines, and you can also have it in .25, which comes with 2 10 round magazines. Also available in FAC, and if this shoots straight, this is very good value for money. So let's do the accuracy test now. Now a lot of you in the comments last week when I tested the FX Wildcat and the Kral Puncher Breaker said that it wasn't a fair test because I was shooting off a wobbly stand and it was unfair. So I've addressed that, and even though I think the test last week was fair because I used both rifles on the same rest, like I say, I've addressed it, and today I'm using a Bog Death Grip tripod, and as you can see it's perfectly clamped in the top and it can't move unless I make it. So I've just zeroed in at 30 yards, and what we're going to do is I'm going to do 10 pellets at 30 yards to see the grouping. Then I'm going to move out to 40 yards and do another 10 shots, And then finally, I'm going to move out to 50 yards and do another 10 shots. I'm not going to adjust the zero at all. I'm just going to aim in the same spot because we're going to see how this rifle groups. And just before we start, a few of you last week were saying, there's a car behind you, it's in the line of fire. Well, I'm going to show you exactly what it was. This automatic lawnmower driving past me, it's got a mind of its own. So it's not a car, it's perfectly safe, but yeah, it's the wandering lawnmower. So here we go, 30 yards. Struggling to find a calm day at the moment, but we'll see what we can do. But there is quite a breeze. The plate that the target is on is just absolutely tearing that target to pieces. So I'm going to go get a different target holder and I'll be back in a moment. So what was happening was the target stuck against this plate for a decent backstop, but because it can't go through, it's going through the paper and then just all the sort of fragmented leads just tearing the paper away. So what I've done is I've got this A-frame which my gunsmith made for me some time ago, and I've put a piece of cardboard in the top, target in the middle, with the back cut out so the pellet can pass through. So hopefully it leaves a nice clean hole, and then I'm going to put this one behind because we need to be safe. So this will be the front and this will be my backstop. Right, zero's checked, everything's in place. The wind is up and down, but there's not a lot I can do about that. So yeah, let's get started. Hey you, have you liked and subscribed yet? If not, why not? I know people are watching the videos, but not a lot of you are liking and subscribing, and I'd do anything for YouTube views. Well, maybe not anything, maybe not OnlyFans. I don't have a big enough. Anyway, let's crack on. So not my best work, but like I say, it is very breezy today. So first one, I knew I had snatched the trigger on that one. That was completely my fault. And the remaining 9 were 8 in here and a couple of flyers. So make of that as you will. So here we are, 40 yards, 10 shots. Let's see what we can do. The wind has picked up a bit. I'm not making excuses. I mean, I am making excuses, but I'm sure you can hear and see that it's quite breezy today. So you can kind of tell from this how windy it is today. We've got such dramatic results there, and I honestly believe that that is to do with the wind. But even so, the two groups that we have got are not so bad at 40 yards. So I'm going to do the same test again. 10 shots, 50 yards now, and then that's it. I'm not playing out in the wind anymore. Right, final test outside now. 10 shots, 50 yards, and just so everybody's happy, I'm then going to go inside and do the same test at 10 meters on our indoor range. So it's very frustrating today. The wind is really messing everything up. Although when you go out hunting, it's not a perfect scenario, is it? It might be raining, might be windy, you might be shooting uphill, you might be shooting downhill. So I suppose this is a fair test into what you're going to use the rifle with in the real world. And this could not be more consistent compared to the last two tests at 30 yards and 40 yards. We've got two groups and a flyer, which was pretty much exactly the same as before. The wind's really messing it up, like I say, so you're not going to expect greatness off any rifle. But I am going to test it now on the indoor range and see what kind of grouping it's going to give us without the elements. Right, same test, 10 meters, inside, so no wind, 10 pellets, let's go. Okay, so 10 shots, inside, no wind, absolutely perfect. So I would really like to test that again outside when it's really calm, but it clearly can group, and if it was dreadful, then it wouldn't group at 10 meters, I can assure you. So yeah, what can we say? I think what they've done with the shroud has worked by running it all the way to the end and fitting the sound mod, because trust me, even at this distance, when they were clipping, it wouldn't have been even been on the target. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good job. So other things you need to know: the stock is not ambidextrous, it is cut for a right-handed person. And also shot count in 2.2 full power shots, so within the sort of 11 foot-pound area, you're looking at 150 shots in 2.2 and about 130 in 1.77. I'll be bringing you more videos soon, including a versus video next week against the HW100, an absolute classic, and the Rexam X Potensis. But until then, I'll see you later.